2012, a hunter was trekking through the boreal forest north of Fairbanks, Alaska, searching for moose. As he crossed a ridge, something below drew his eye. He approached cautiously and found what appeared to be a ravaged campsite with an oddly constructed shelter. The hunter scanned the scattered supplies and then spotted the blood. He heard a cry from the trees and caught a glimpse of what he would later describe as a monkey-like beast. He fled the scene and alerted authorities, but the missing camper was never found. Inside the vast frontier of Alaska is a mysterious triangle where each year, 5 out of every 1,000 people go missing.
Something out there.
3 investigators look for answers. Jax, a former police officer. Ken, a specialist in strange phenomena. And Tommy, an expert on Alaskan legends. Together, they uncover mysterious sightings and ancient legends, exploring the possibilities of those who go missing in Alaska. The team's investigation begins north of Fairbanks, heading to the site where the camper went missing.
This habitat is remarkable. It's just teeming with life.
This area is a rich environment with lots of water, plenty of trees, a perfect place for animals to thrive.
Obviously, what I'm most interested in is this hunter's account of things moving through the trees and making primate-like sounds. That is really weird and interesting.
There's never been a single confirmed sighting of a monkey in Alaska. Also, it's illegal to own a primate here, and the zoos don't even have them. So I'm skeptical of the hunter's claims about seeing a monkey. There's our water source, Ken.
Yeah, animals are drawn to water, so this is a good place to see what may be living out here. What is that on the other side?
Look at this.
Those are feathers.
Something definitely preys on something here.
And whatever it was sat up here plucking this seagull and just, yeah, stripped it all down.
Seagull feathers?
Yeah, right here in my hand, Ken. Shoulders and breastbone, right there.
Holy Now, what kind of animal would pluck a bird?
The bald eagles will catch a seagull right out of the air and land in a tree and pluck it and eat it. I've seen that many times.
And something with opposable thumbs. It would be unusual for a primate to eat something like a bird, but not impossible. Do you give the hunter's story any credit, Tommy?
There's a legend story that's been around for centuries with the Athabascan people. A Katani, it's a tailed creature.
Like a monkey?
Like a monkey, maybe 30, 40 pounds, 3.5 feet tall, living in trees and in caves on the ground.
The Katani, literally translated as tailed ones, are described as moderate-sized primates with powerful legs and razor-sharp claws. These baboon-like beasts are said to be much smarter than normal monkeys, capable of sophisticated communication and coordinated attacks. The harsh environment of Alaska and the lack of fossils suggest monkeys have never lived here, but that doesn't mean they couldn't.
Something like that would really have to adapt to its surroundings.
And obviously we have to weather the cold, but I mean, we know that the Japanese macaques, the snow macaques, they're very hardy. They can endure temperatures as low as 20 degrees below zero, live in high altitudes and live in the snow. So
Pretty harsh.
It's not that far a stretch for me to imagine that some type of primate might live in this environment.
The Katani legend really interests me because if there really are no monkeys in Alaska, then what inspired the stories?
Most Alaskan legends reflect real local animals. The Amarok is a cross between a wolf and a bear. The Kushtaka is a hybrid of otter and man. So how did the Katani legend take root without real monkeys to inspire it?
How stable do you think this is?
It's all right.
Jax moves to a higher vantage point to scan the forest. But if monkeys are out there, Ken believes they won't be seen until they want to be seen.
Monkeys are very smart. There have been studies that have been done in France on baboons, and they were able to get these baboons to memorize 10,000 different images. So we're talking about something that's highly intelligent.
I don't know, guys. Witnesses are describing something like monkeys because they're afraid. And when there's fear involved or any kind of incident where your adrenaline's going up, things always get exaggerated. I know I need to keep an open mind, but right now, I'm just not buying this monkey business. I think we're probably dealing with a crime that's been committed by a person and not an animal.
With several miles to go to reach the site where the camper went missing, the team gets back underway, knowing it will be dark soon.
According to the GPS, this is it, guys.
This must be the remains of the structure that the hunter was talking about.
This seems way big for a one-man shelter.
And you also notice that nothing's been cut, everything's been broken,
Right, yeah, I'm seeing that too.
snapped off,
Snapped there,
or
yeah.
rotten ends, or nothing's clean cut. The first thing that I noticed about this structure, it was really crudely built. If he had a knife, then why didn't he use it? And if he didn't have one, then why is he settling into such a remote spot without the proper tools? Either way, we need to check the surrounding areas for any clues about what happened to him. I think we need to document what we got here, and then I think we need to split up, and we'll cover more ground.
Agreed. We need to get out there and see what's here.
If this camper was attacked by the Kitani, it is believed that they hunt in packs and can skeletonize their prey as fast as piranhas. Any group that large and active would almost definitely leave signs.
You head out to the east, I'll head north, you go west?
Yes.
All right.
Searching Alaska for killer monkeys might seem a bit far-fetched, but new monkey species are being discovered all the time and all around the world. Last year, in South America alone, 5 new species of Saki monkeys were discovered. In 2012, the Lasula monkey was discovered in the Congo. And in 2010, a new species of snub-nosed monkey was found in Myanmar. Could Alaska, where animals grow to immense sizes, be the home of an unknown species of monkey that has grown large enough and aggressive enough to be a threat to humans?
That's interesting. I come across a downed tree with roots that have been freshly gnawed. I don't know what kind of animal would have done this. Tommy, you there?
Yeah, Jack.
Hey, head over to my location. I'm about 1,000 yards northwest. I'm gonna shine my light. Hopefully you can see me.
All right, I'm heading that way.
All right, I gotcha.
And check this out.
What do you got?
I walked right by this. I actually saw it when I turned around. The roots have been gnawed.
I know the bears are just now coming out of their dens. Usually they're out there digging up tender roots or other grasses that are starting to grow.
This is pretty soft ground around here. I don't see any sign of bear. There should be footprints if a bear came through here.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the heck? Jax or Tommy, can you hear me?
Go for both of us.
You guys need to come.
Check this out, I found something interesting.
I'm about a quarter of a mile east of you.
All right, make sure you're shining your light so we can see you. We'll be out of here in a few seconds.
You got it.
What you got?
What do you got?
Check this out.
Claw marks?
That's what it looks like.
Evidently, something gouged some very deep cuts in this particular tree. They're very high up the ground, and these cuts are very fresh. And while 2 of the marks are somewhat in line, one seems to be at an opposing angle.
Tommy, is that a bear?
Hard to say. Generally, bear scratch marks aren't at random angles.
They're all together.
Scratch marks on trees are a common way for bears to mark their territory. But these markings generally mimic a footprint or leave parallel lines. What the team has found doesn't fit the paradigm.
Guys, I don't know what that could be. Maybe they're different marks from a couple of different animals.
I think we need to go back and consult some experts in these fields. Let's definitely document it. And then I say it's getting cold and let's get out of here. We've come across a couple things tonight that are worth a second opinion. But as of right now, I can't explain what happened to the missing camper. Maybe someone else will see something in these clues that we don't.
The possibility of monkeys in Alaska is no longer a question for fisherman Philip Hoyle, who claims to have seen them firsthand back in 2007.
I'll never forget, it was this beautiful sunny afternoon and I was out and I was fishing and it was great. I caught my fair share of some fish that day and I figured it was time to call it a day. As I'm starting to wrap my stuff up, I hear this ruffling going on in the trees. All I could see, these two red dots. They look like they could be eyes. I couldn't explain it. And I realized that these are some kind of an animal. The next thing you know, several more appear, and I can tell that they're getting closer. So I decided, you know what, it's a good idea to get the hell out of there. I ran back to my pickup truck, I locked the door, and as soon as I looked up, immediately this creature was standing in front of me. About 4 feet tall, furry, had like a dog-type face and a simian ape-like body. I started my truck up, I revved the engine, it must have scared the hell out of the creature, and it ran off. And I tell you, if I didn't run to my car when they came out of those woods, I'm certain that they would have had me for lunch, no doubt.
The legend of the Katani, also known as the Tailed Ones, claims that they dwell in trees and in caves. The team found some irregular scratches on a tree near where the camper went missing. If there's a chance it could be one of these killer monkeys, Ken wants to find out more about them. He schedules a meeting with his friend Nick Redfern. Nick is a fellow investigator of strange creatures and has been in Alaska digging deep into local lore.
Right now, I'm currently investigating a case of a creature known as the Katani.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Sort of described by the Native Americans as looking like a monkey. Not an ape, but a monkey with a tail.
Talk to me about behavior patterns.
Okay.
Where could I find these things? Where do they live?
They talk about these creatures chiefly living underground. We talk about tunnels, caverns, subterranean areas. We're also told they attack people, possibly even feed on people.
Wow.
These creatures are supposed to be highly developed mentally. Reports of them, for example, like setting traps to catch people.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What kind of makes it different to all other monkeys, though, is that it only has 3 toes.
On my initial investigation, I actually found what appeared to be a 3-toed claw mark on the side of a tree.
Huh.
The thought of a 3-toed monkey could explain the scratch marks the team found on the tree. Ken can't be sure that's what it was, but it opens the possibility that the Katani are real. Each year, new missing persons cases in the Alaska Triangle number in the thousands. Could the huge quantity of unsolved cases be related to native legends of strange beasts? And could one of these beasts, a 3-toed species of killer monkey, be responsible for a missing camper, among others? Monkeys are not known to have ever lived in Alaska, but stories of tailed beings suggest it's possible. Ken joins Tommy to meet with physical anthropologist David Yesner at the local zoo. They want to ask him if such a creature, or any kind of monkey, could be alive here in Alaska.
Hey, Ken.
Hey.
I'm Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. Good to meet you.
As I told you on the phone, the reason we're out here is we're investigating the case of a missing hiker. And potentially, it could be linked to some type of unusual animal.
All right, yeah.
In a vast wilderness state like Alaska, isn't it possible that there could be some type of primate out here that maybe hasn't been documented yet?
Well, it's always possible that you could encounter something that hasn't been documented, but what we have to base scientific evidence on, of course, is the fossil record. And Alaska is not the kind of environment that would support most of the primates that we're familiar with.
What about the Japanese snow monkey, the macaque they have? There?
Good point. Japanese macaques were quite closely related to some of the old world monkeys that are found in Africa.
According to the fossil record, early primates formed while South America and Africa were joined together. But once the continents split, the evolution into higher primates, including humans, occurred only on the African side. New World primates only migrated as far as the southern part of North America. Some Old World primates made it further north in Asia, including the hardy snow monkey. But only humans are believed to have crossed the Bering Land Bridge into Alaska.
Can I show you some of these photographs?
Sure,
Just
yeah,
kind of get your
by all
opinion.
means.
Now, this is the thing that I found that I thought was really bizarre. This is obviously what I interpreted to be claw marks,
Certainly what it looks like.
right? There's the measurements. We're looking at about 4 inches there.
I know bears mark their territory, and usually going across, and you have 4 marks, but these marks are all in different directions, unlike a bear to me.
Yeah.
This kind of gives you an indication of like how high up the ground we're looking at there.
Hard to say exactly what it might have been. Bears come to mind when you look at the claw marks, but you have to consider other possibilities
Right.
too.
Doctor, are you familiar with the legend of the Katani?
I have heard that it's some kind of monkey-like or primate-like creature.
Is that possible, a 3-toed primate?
Ah, well, now we're reaching back even further to even simpler primates. So if we look at the prosimians, who are the large group of primates that preceded the evolution of monkeys, you have ones that have claws on some fingers and toes with nails on others.
Prosimians are a class of animal that still exists today, which includes lemurs and tarsiers. Like all primates except spider monkeys, which have 4 fingers on their hands, prosimians have 5 fingers and toes. But prosimians are unique in having 2 different types of claws. Some resemble human fingernails, while others are sharper grooming claws. These could leave marks on trees that make the animal appear to have fewer than 5 toes.
How big would these creatures have been?
For the most part, relatively small. There are some prosimians that are larger, that are sort of cat-sized.
I was looking for a viable alternative to this 3-toed killer monkey theory, and the prosimian claws sounded promising at first. But the small size of these animals doesn't mesh with the sightings. At this point, the Katani is still a possibility.
As Ken and Tommy consider Dr. Yesner's information, Jax is on a mission to hear a first-hand account of a Katani attack. He meets with a local witness who claims to have had an encounter with these monkey-like animals just 2 weeks ago.
Troy, how's it going?
Hey, good.
Jax, nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
So is this where everything went down?
This is where I had my car parked, and this is the trailhead, yeah. So
All right.
the trail's over here, so if you want to follow me, it's quite a ways in the woods.
All right, yeah, we can get down there and then we can chat. The fact that this guy's sighting was so recent plays to our advantage. As a former police officer, I know that a witness's memory of an event gets altered as more time goes by.
So this is about the area where it happened.
So what happened?
I was coming back from a long hike. I was heading back to my car. From behind me, I heard this screeching noise. As I turned to look, I saw some kind of creature leaping tree to tree. I just took off running. And then from my left, I saw it again. As I kept running, I heard the noise on my right, and I felt like I was being surrounded. But I was so far into the woods, I didn't know where I was. So I ran underneath one of them, hopefully heading towards my car. The fear of getting eaten, I didn't care, I just kept running.
Can you describe what you saw? What this creature looked like?
This is gonna sound crazy, man, but it was monkey-like.
Monkey-like.
Yeah, a long curly tail.
Whatever these things are, it really scared him, and I take that seriously. Were you pretty close to the path you were being chased on?
Yes, it's right up here, about another 30 yards.
Well, if you're up for it, I want to keep heading that way.
Okay.
How many do you think there were around you?
3 or 4, I feel like I was being surrounded.
Hey, check this out. You were running straight towards this thing. I just saw one of these structures. This is much bigger and denser than the one we found the other night. That path that we just took, look how this wall is blocking it. My friend, I think you were very close to being run right into a dead end.
Jax has to consider a new possibility. Maybe the camper hadn't built a shelter. Maybe something else built a trap.
I want you guys to see this.
What you got?
Here's the pictures.
Oh, wow.
After Jax's meeting with a witness, the team considers a new theory. What if these stick structures are corrals where something is trapping prey, including humans?
That definitely looks like the other one.
Let's see how it's a lot bigger.
Yeah,
It's a lot bigger, a lot of
more
work put into that.
intricate.
a lot fresher. I'm seeing a lot of greenery in there.
Here's on the map, and here's the first corral, horseshoe, whatever we want to call it.
Got it.
And then over here is where Troy led me to today.
Obviously, we don't know where these things are moving around during the day, but I think one thing's for sure. If they're not being seen very often, they must have some type of hiding place.
Sure.
Somewhere they're calling home. To my mind, I think that a cave would be the perfect answer to that question.
What do you think about us starting here?
I actually did talk to some local hunting guides, and they all mentioned that there were some caves in that area.
I agree with you, this is the area we need to be searching, but I think we need to start our search at this new corral. It's fresh. It's obviously been recently set up.
Maybe there are signs of food, animals, something being drug off, and a pathway where these things may travel.
And if not, I say we stake out the area and see if they come back. I've always heard that the tailed ones were supposed to be smart and that they had sophisticated communication and hunted as a team. But this kind of planning and attack puts their intelligence at a whole new level, and this is frightening.
Primates attacking fellow primates is not unprecedented. Jane Goodall even noted a case of chimp cannibalism, where a mother-daughter pair was killing and eating other chimp infants. And humans are targets too, as the famous case in 2009 proved, when a pet chimp named Travis attacked a woman and severely injured her face. Could monkey-like primates now be targeting humans as food in the Alaska Triangle? Could this be part of why so many people go missing here? In order to best prepare for their stakeout, Tommy suggests a unique approach to their weaponry.
We're gonna make some blowguns here and darts.
Cool.
Got some pipes, one for each of us.
These are pretty long. Is this pretty standard?
The longer, the more accurate you're gonna be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a short one for short-range stuff, but we're looking to get them up there.
Tommy's idea to use blowguns allows the team to hunt silently, and with darts laced with tranquilizer, they could safely capture whatever is constructing these traps.
For our darts, I cut up plastic, PVC. We're just gonna make a cone with it and make it a little funnel. And then you can test it by dropping it in there.
Mine fits.
Perfect.
People in the Amazon rainforest have been doing this for centuries, maybe thousands of years. So this is a proven method of hunting monkeys, no doubt about that.
You know, if we had a gun, you fire one shot, you're scaring everything in the vicinity away.
A blowgun is a weird weapon to me. But then again, this is all weird. If some sort of murderous monkey's gonna come at me, I'm pretty sure my gun's gonna come out. But for right now, I'll play along and see how it goes.
These monkeys, if they exist, are probably lightning fast. So our aim is gonna have to be dead on.
I doubt I'll have any accuracy at all if I actually have to use this blowgun. Fortunately, Tommy's done it before, so I'll follow his lead.
We'll drop your dart in there. Hold it up and then just launch it.
Oh, that worked pretty good. What kind of range and velocity are we talking about with these things?
These things can go up to 400 feet per second, up to 50 yards away. Give it a go.
Awesome.
You got it, man.
Good shot.
I'm surprised the damage and the depth it can get on it.
Perfect. Excellent. Look at that.
I've hunted mysterious creatures all over the world, and the prospect of actually capturing a live specimen, that's the holy grail of my profession. Maybe we'll have a chance to do that tonight.
Excellent. Look at that.
I think we got the hang of it. Let's collect the stuff and get out of here.
Let's do it.
Honestly, this blowgun seems like a cumbersome and inefficient weapon. But the guys are hell-bent on capturing whatever this is alive. So we'll see if it works.
If the Katani creatures are real, a swift response is critical, according to Evan Monroe, who believes he and his brother were attacked by one back in 2010.
It was the first week of August, so my brother and I went on our annual summer camping trip. It was the first of 3 nights at our favorite spot. While I was setting up sleeping bags, my brother, he just put out the fire and he was going to the trees to dump the water from the pots and pans. All of a sudden, I heard him scream bloody murder. this monkey-like creature jumped down onto his back from the trees. And as I ran over to help, he's whacking at the monkey with the pans. He must have clocked it pretty good, because the monkey bailed, took off into the woods. My brother, his shirt was ripped open, and I saw 3 nasty scratches right down his back. I'd rush him to the hospital. He ended up needing a bunch of stitches to seal up those wounds.
Let's do this.
So now we're making our bait for the Katani. The evidence and reports suggest that these beings may be targeting humans as food. We're going to set out an alternate meat that might tempt them and draw them in, pork.
Well, if this doesn't work out, guys, I can be a butcher, right?
This should drive them nuts.
You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
We're always taught to be prepared when we go into the forest here in Alaska, so we're bringing our blowguns and plenty of darts.
Personally, I don't know if we'll find a killer monkey, or a regular monkey, or something else entirely. But whatever's out there, I'm ready to solve this mystery.
Alaska. The abundant wildlife here makes it a mecca for hunters. But is something hunting humans? Could a troop of killer monkeys be setting traps and picking people off, adding to the number of missing in the Alaska Triangle? Marks that the team found on a tree suggest a 3-toed creature. The most famous 3-toed tree dweller is the sloth, a sedentary animal in Central and South America. While not related to monkeys, it features many common traits in a phenomenon known as convergent evolution. Perhaps the plentiful, fast-moving prey of Alaska forced a similar animal to evolve speed and hunting skills. The team prepares for a stakeout, wielding blowguns that could help them validate the existence of these tailed ones.
How far was this other trap?
I think it's roughly a mile.
Being in potential Katani territory at night is kind of frightening. Legends say that these creatures can jump up to 20 feet with lightning speed, but nighttime provides better cover for us. If we get our trap set and hunker down, hopefully we'll see them before they see us.
This looks a whole lot different at night.
Absolutely does.
Very eerie, everything's steaming. It's really important that we remember what happened to the eyewitness as far as them coming up behind him.
Yeah, so watch our backs, and I also suggest we stay silent.
As much as possible. Let's keep moving. You can see none of it was done with tools. It's all broken branches. They're all snapped off. The first time I saw one of these structures, I assumed a human built it. But some animals are skilled at construction too. Birds build nests, beavers build dams. So I have to consider this primate theory as a possibility. All right, let's go set these up, guys.
Using the corral as their center point, the team will spread out 3 bait stations with cameras, covering multiple angles of approach.
There's a good spot, guys.
I'm gonna put the trail cam on here.
Baiting with pork is a calculated risk. Pig meat has been most closely compared to human meat. And if these monkeys have developed a taste for humans, it might be habit-forming. A famous case of this phenomenon occurred in Kenya in 1898. The lions of Tsavo were 2 lions that attacked and ate dozens of railroad workers and had to be hunted down and killed to end their rampage.
Let's go back down that way. Yeah.
The risk is, if the pork doesn't work, we're the real thing, and we'll be sitting nearby.
I think we're good, guys. Let's go get a higher vantage point. Try the call blaster.
Jax uses a heat scanner to search for warm bodies hidden in the dark. Meanwhile, Ken fires up a call blaster to mimic animal sounds that might lure in their target. He starts with the Japanese macaque, or snow monkey, since its call might be similar to any local monkey-like beasts.
What's that? To our left, about 30 feet up in the tree.
What is it, a monkey?
I see it. Get the tranquilizers. Where'd he go? Do you see it?
To our left, about 30 feet up in the tree.
What is it, a monkey?
I see it. Get the tranquilizers. Where'd he go? Do you see it?
Let's go. Go, go. Some branches broke off.
Broken branches up here. Oh, hey, guys, I found a dart over here.
Is this a dart?
How many will we shoot?
Just one from me.
I shot 2.
That's 3.
With 2 of the 3 darts found, it's likely the third is in the brush somewhere. But if there's a chance they hit their target, the team needs to track it down.
We might have injured it. Think about it. Where's an injured animal gonna go?
It's gonna go home.
Exactly.
According to legend, the Catawnies' preferred home is well known.
They talk about these creatures chiefly living underground, caverns, subterranean areas.
We gotta go to the cave.
Let's get moving.
Okay. Just listen. Hear anything?
No.
What if it doesn't go back to the cave?
We're on a goose chase big time. Tommy, what's this? 3 toes? Does that look like the claw we had up on the tree the other day that Ken found? Ken,
Ken.
What's up?
does this look like what you saw up on the tree the other day?
Yeah, I suppose that could be interpreted as a 3-toed track.
It is a track.
No question about it.
It's headed this direction.
Before we take off, let's get a photo of this, guys.
Tracks get messed up out here all the time. So you never know if it might be an eagle or something else that stepped there and its prints got compromised.
If it's on the ground, it's probably wounded. We need to be real careful as we're approaching this, guys. Look, there's another footprint. We're definitely going in the right direction. It's coming to a narrowing up here. Check the GPS.
We're headed right towards that crevice in the rocks.
All right, we may be stepping into the hornet's
So
nest
uneasy,
here.
man. This is kind of scary.
Let's get moving. Come on. Oh, go past me. This is the opening, guys. Look. I think I need to get in there.
Are you sure, man?
Yeah, we'll mount me up with the GoPro. You can monitor from out here.
All right, gotta walk you, right?
Yeah.
Careful, buddy. Looking good down there, Jax. How's it going, man?
I got something.
What do you see, Jack? Some scat or feces. Possibly it has some berries in it.
Maybe some fur, I can't tell.
Yeah, that looks fresh.
I'm gonna try to take a sample.
I don't know what the scat sample will ultimately reveal, but it does prove that something alive has been in this cave, and somewhat recently. All right, guys, I got our sample. I'm gonna move further into the cave.
Be careful, buddy.
Oh, man, it's rancid in here. Oh. Yeah, Guys, we got bones in here. It's rancid.
Copy that, I'm seeing them. Those almost look human, man.
You guys, I'm gonna stop here and bag this up.
I just package up the bones.
Copy that.
I don't know, man. I think you should pull out.
I think we got enough.
We've come this far, man. I'm keeping moving.
What is that? What is that?
I can't tell exactly. It's a rib cage and a spinal section. This is fresh.
Well, that was back in the tree line there.
Sounds like something's moving around up there. Jax, we're hearing something.
You need to get out of there now.
Coming out, guys.
Roger that. Whew. We gotta move. Something's moving around up here in the canopy. The noise we heard, to me, sounded like more than one animal. I don't know if a troop of Katani was closing in, but whatever it was, they pulled back after we heard them. This way. I heard it right up here. It was right up here in these trees.
Where?
Right up here. You heard it too, right, Tommy?
I heard a crashing.
Yeah, there was something. It was like a crash, like a branch broke or something. You see any broken branches?
I'm not seeing any.
There's something out here.
Where'd it go?
Spread out, look around, guys. Holy cow, guys. Come over here. It's one of our darts. Don't touch it, don't touch it. You got an evidence bag?
I do.
I got some gloves in my pocket.
Dude, are you sure that didn't fall out of one of our pockets?
I don't know. Hopefully we might have some DNA on it.
This could be the smoking gun. There are only two possibilities for how this dart got out here. Either we dropped it ourselves, which seems unlikely since I don't think we walked through this area, or else it fell out of whatever animal we hit with our blowguns. This could be the break that we've been looking for. I mean, we got valuable evidence here. We could get lab work done, so let's get out of here.
Let's head down the hill.
The team submits their findings to a forensics lab for analysis. When the results are sent back, they reconvene to see if the evidence points toward the Katani or something else.
I got the emails a little while ago.
All right, man, stop with the suspense. We've been waiting.
The scat. Apparently, it is very difficult to derive conclusive DNA results off of scat for a number of reasons.
They're just telling you what's in it, right?
Exactly. It definitely looked like it was a predator. I mean, they found hair fibers and stuff like that.
There's wolf in the area, and bears do trek through there occasionally.
There are. So, unfortunately, that was kind of a non-starter.
So what'd they say about the bones?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
All right, well, it kind of confirmed our suspicion that it was a large animal, and in this case, a large known animal, which is a reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad they weren't human. I mean,
yeah, that was kind of scary there for a
thought
moment.
we might have found our missing hiker there for a moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did the bones get in the cave? That's the question. It could have been our killer monkeys, right? Something could have dragged it in there. Why not?
Could have been wolves, could have been a bear. I mean, anything could have dragged that in there. As interesting as it is to speculate that these monkeys are real, we have to be careful not to jump to conclusions too quickly. I'm just not convinced that the evidence supports that yet. How about the dart? What you got?
The DNA test result on the dart come back as 99% human.
Human?
99% human with a 1% variation that is unidentified.
What does that mean, the 1%?
Where do we go with that?
It just opens up a whole nother can of worms because chimpanzees obviously possess 99% of the DNA code of a human. They're essentially our closest relatives.
I think somehow we contaminated this, and this is our DNA.
Contamination by humans is very common.
Yeah, very common, and it's so simple for it to be contaminated.
We handle them while launching them and retrieving them.
Yeah.
We can't rule it out. I mean, I'm with you. So here's the one that I'm having trouble wrapping my head around. Three-toed tracks. I mean, we know there are lots of three-toed mammals, sloths, different types of odd-toed ungulates, some marsupials, you know, but nothing that we know of that's native to Alaska that would have had three long claws and, you know, 3 digits that are that prominent. So based on our photographs, they weren't able to make any type of conclusive determination as to what those tracks belong to.
No theories at all, huh? Just completely inconclusive?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get anything there either.
Let's suppose for a moment that we did hit something with that dart, but it didn't go down. It's like it was impervious to that tranquilizer. Could we be dealing with something that is somehow bioresistant to our tranquilizer? Some type of super ape, super monkey. There are people that believe that the government, the military are engineering some type of super primate. You know, and Stalin was doing a very similar thing back in the 1920s. He actually had a program in the Soviet Union where he was trying to crossbreed humans and apes to create super soldiers. And we could be dealing with something here that was designed for combat that's bioresistant to things like tranquilizers. It's a stretch, but if the military is doing some kind of weird experimentation like that, why not here in Alaska where they have lots of space and privacy?
The hunt will have to continue another day for what could be the most dangerous hunter in the Alaska Triangle, a creature that might be more human than we realize, that relies on strength in numbers and a killer conscience to make people go missing in Alaska.